If you ask me, and some of you did, NerdCubed is overreacting about YouTube Red. On the other hand, things might be even worse than he imagines. Maybe music will kill us all. Overall, I think I know less about YouTube Red now than I did last week, but that won't stop me from making another video about it, and I'm hopeful you'll continue to educate me in your comments. Do you know what's been the most overlooked aspect in the whole conversation about YouTube Red? The thing that nobody talks about? How quiet YouTube has been about the launch. YouTube Red, the just-launched paid subscription service on YouTube, has had one of the lowest key rollouts imaginable. Seriously, considering what a game-changer it is. This kind of launch is called a soft launch. More than a beta test, but less than a full launch, much less. Soft launch. This has been a whisper launch. And I have a theory about that. I have two theories, actually. The second one is vaccination. They're vaccinating the creators. But bear with me, I want to talk about the first theory first. Now, most creators I know are fully aware of YouTube Red. We're still puzzling out what it will do for us, or to us, but we're aware of it because we, or our networks, have had to agree to participate, or else all our videos would go private. Hey, I'm vlogging here. I said I'd do it. For a while, it looked like Disney wasn't going to sign up. They were holding out for more money. But even Disney caved before the mighty Google, and they will be paid on the same formula as the rest of us. But ESPN, which is part of Disney, is off the service for now, so creators are hyper-aware to the point of skittishness. More on that in a bit. Why is this launch so quiet? Well, here are my two theories. First, the product isn't finished. Red isn't even available in most countries, and in the US, where we have it, the product isn't complete. We don't have the mobile app for music. We haven't seen any of the special programming that's in the works for next year. No wonder YouTube isn't doing much to promote Red. They have to finish it first before they can start sounding the trumpets. The whole communications plan so far is a couple of blog posts, a video, and a sign-up page that you have to go hunting for. No casual user of the service is going to stumble across Red. It's very well hidden for now, and I think that's worth noting. So if NerdCubed worries that Red is the Grinch that will steal his Christmas ad revenues, I think he can relax. I don't have any data, of course. I'm making this all up, but I would be shocked if there's a whole lot of uptake in the first few months. When YouTube does launch Red for real, I think we're going to hear about it. I don't think we can miss it. Here's what I expect. International availability, or at the very least a rollout schedule, banner ads whenever you log on, video pre-rolls, and probably, since one of the projects is a series with the producers of The Walking Dead and PewDiePie, probably some television ads, talk show appearances, billboards. YouTube knows how to make a splash when they want to. Google is in the business of advertising. So here's my second theory, vaccination. Yes, I said vaccination. A vaccine is a weakened form of an antigen, or as we commonly call them, germs, introduced into the body to initiate an immune response that will serve to protect against subsequent exposure to full-strength antigens. Well, thank you. Or germs. Don't mention it. YouTube uploaders are prone to panic when the least little thing changes. We do not have a good immune system for change. Remember when they dropped the sidebar and put it into John Green's pants? Oh, such turmoil. Remember when they went widescreen? Old-timers know what I'm talking about. Dropping a change on a YouTuber is like dropping Mentos into Diet Coke. But now, at this point in the evolution of YouTube, when tens of thousands of people are doing YouTube for a living, changes for better or worse can hit creators in the pocketbook, or in that slit in the mattress where they stash their fabulous jewels and hoard of cash. Case in point, NerdCubed. He went into great length about his alarming concerns that YouTube Red will starve him of Christmas ad revenues. He may not agree with me, but I actually think his video is part of YouTube's master plan for rolling it out. He's just playing his part. They know what we're like at YouTube headquarters. They've been living with us and sponging off us for more than a decade. They know it's best to get all the creator whining and whinging out of the way early. So when the real launch happens, we will be immune to it. We can get through it without a panic. But what about the merits of NerdCubed's argument? Will free trials mean YouTube Red decimates creator ad revenue right in the lucrative peak advertising Christmas season? Could there be any worse timing? Well, as I've said, I don't think there's much of a threat this Christmas, but in the long run, it may be even worse than NerdCubed thinks. Reminder, YouTube says they will be paying creators even during the free trial. I mentioned this last time, but there's more detail I can share. How much they pay remains a bit of a mystery. YouTube is on record predicting that creator revenues may even rise during the free trials. Are they right? We'll all know soon enough. Here is the relevant paragraph from Matt Leske's blog. He's a YouTube product manager. With Google Play Music subscribers instantly joining YouTube Red, we will pay a portion of the revenue we receive from these subscribers to our creators on day one. Even with 30-day free trials, our creator community will make as much or more as they would have without YouTube Red. Let's parse that. He's saying, don't worry about the free trials. We have money for you. It's coming from the Google Play side of the business. Wait a minute. Isn't that money earmarked to pay royalties to the music publishers? Don't they have dibs on that money? How can YouTube give that to us? Note the language. We will pay a portion of the revenue we receive. I think that means they're actually going to distribute some of the money they might otherwise have kept for themselves. Chris from the BBC wrote an article saying creators will be paid. When I asked him, he said he had double-checked with YouTube. They insisted his article was correct. But why didn't they just come out and say it in plain language? I mean, with so much at stake, why not be clearer? Deep dive. Here's where I think NerdCubed may be underestimating the danger for YouTube. It might be worse than he thinks. Warning, this is going to involve some arithmetic and some background on the music industry. The payout formula for Red is based on a fraction. You know how fractions work. If the numerator, the upstairs number, is bigger, the fraction is bigger. 2/5 is bigger than 1/5. If the denominator is bigger, the fraction is smaller. 2/15 is smaller than 2/5. The numerator here is my watch time. How much time you all spent watching my videos. The denominator is YouTube's total watch time. How much everybody spends watching all the videos on the service. Both those numbers combine paid and free viewing. They're not separating. No separating the paid and unpaid. So you multiply that fraction by the total amount of money YouTube will pay out, which they say is something more than half of the money they take in. They won't say exactly how much. And that's what we'll be paid. So based on the most recent numbers I could find, and who knows how current or accurate they are, YouTube has 6 billion hours of watch time every month. 6 billion. I have about 1,400. Human beings spent a little more than 1,400 hours in the last month watching me. That's more than 60 days. Well, thank you, fellow humans. But 1,444 over 6 billion, that's a very teeny fraction. If 100,000 people sign up, YouTube gets $1 million a month, and they say they'll distribute more than half of that, I guess 55%, so my fraction amounts to 13 cents a month. With me so far? If YouTube matches Spotify's paid subscribers, if YouTube gets 20 million viewers to sign up, they will collect $200 million every month, pay out a little more than half of that. I figure I'll get roughly $26 every month. I do a lot of work for $26 a month, I really do. Thing is, all these numbers are always changing. If my watch time grows, I could earn more if I upload more videos or get more viewers or make videos interesting enough so you'll watch them all the way to the end. Hey, you're still watching. Thanks. But here's the kicker. Remember, this is a fraction. If the denominator gets bigger, if YouTube's total watch time increases, and it always does, then the size of this fraction will decrease. Even if my numerator, my own watch time, continues to rise, it's not going to outrun the denominator. It's my videos against the universe, scrambling for share and losing out. But on the other hand, while I'm getting a smaller and smaller slice of the pie keeps growing. So there are really too many unknown variables to make a useful prediction. But take one more step with me, just one more step. What if the new YouTube Music app really takes off? That could change everything. This is what's freaking me out. This is what NerdCubed should be worrying about. I mean, let's look at music and how we listen to it today. 2014 was a key year in the music industry. That was the year online digital music sales topped CD sales globally. 2015 is the year that paid streaming topped digital downloads. In terms of people, more people are still using free, but the money is in subscriptions. Most people on Spotify use the free version, but more than 90% of their revenue comes from subscriptions. I'm pretty sure the folks at YouTube know that. YouTube is far and away the biggest free ad-supported music streaming service on the planet. A lot of people overlook that because cat videos. But that's the reality. But here comes paid streaming, clearly the up-and-comer. That's why Apple jumped in this summer with a paid streaming service. Here's a chart of the current players in paid streaming. In the paid streaming segment, Google Play Music doesn't even show up on this chart. I have to believe it's bigger than Tidal. The problem is Google never disclosed how many paid customers they have. So the people who made this chart don't know where to put them. Google's strategy in paid streaming seems to be to bundle music with YouTube, take something that's not going very well for them and glom it onto something that's spectacularly successful. Now let's suppose it works. Let's suppose that YouTube Red actually turns out to be the Spotify killer and the Apple Music killer. What if YouTube's music app proves irresistible? What if YouTube Red becomes the primary way that people listen to music? There's a lot of potential music listening hours out there right now. Right now, people do all kinds of things. They listen to the radio on the air, they listen to radio on the internet, they listen to their own CDs, their own digital libraries, they listen to free streaming, but more and more it's going to paid streaming. The mix of how people listen to music is shifting. It's pretty clear it's shifting dramatically towards streaming. So that's a lot of potential watch time hours for YouTube Red to gobble up. What if every time you see someone walking around with earbuds, they're listening to YouTube Red? You see where I'm going? The denominator could explode. My fraction, NerdCube's fraction, your fraction, could get smaller
and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Is that possible? Is it likely?
Or did I just do the Mentos and Diet Coke panic spew that YouTubes are prone to? What do you think? Stay tuned. Until next time, I'm Mickeleh.
DVD extras. All roads lead back to Patreon. I'm really impressed with the number of my viewers who brought up Patreon and recommended it in comments to my last video on YouTube Red. Here's one I like. Just Steve's channel points out that people pay for cable TV and also donate to public television. He signed on for Red, but he's going to keep up with Patreon. If you want to support the people you watch, the people whose videos you value most, become their direct patron through Patreon or buy their merch. What if I should open a Patreon account? Or for merch. So here's my first take on YouTube Red. Here's NerdCube's rant. It's long. And here, Dan Brown's series on the topic. By the way, I'm in the second one of those. And the Vlog Fighters, the Nerd Brothers, the Greens, John and Hank. Bye now.